संग लाओ वापस उपेंद्र जी संग वापस लाओ लंच बॉक्स में साहब यार कितनी भी लेट आई तो है इसला नहीं है सबको लगा किलो की है एनीबॉडी वांट टू है उसको छोड़ दो वन वन
One.
No, we had it.
बेडरूम में है अच्छा ऐसा है इसीलिए इसमें जगह खाली टेम्परेचर भी कम है ना इतना सबसे ज्यादा
Namaste. Please have a seat. Everybody, please sit down and stop talking, please. Please. Om. We are going to start our session. I'll call our youth and along with little girl Winnie, and they are going to do prayer. Please come on the stage. Come, Winnie.
Do I start? Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samagprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Ya Kunde Dutushara Dhavala Ya Shuprabha Savruta Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahmachyuta Shankara Prabhudivir Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nisheshajadhyapaha.
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinny. You did very good job. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to start our session for youth. And I like to invite our moderators, Priya Amrishji, Srimati Priya Amrishji. Please come on the stage. So Priya ji, you introduce yourself as a moderator and then you can.
Good morning, everyone. Namaste. Wonderful to see you all today. I was a little worried about an early start and the audience, if they would be here, but when children come, parents have to come, so I think that's why we have a good gathering. My name is Priya Amaresh, and just a little background about myself. I am a product of a wave of the 1970s immigrants who came from India to pursue their professional goals and benefit from the American dream. My parents landed in Michigan in the early 70s and were enjoying their newfound opportunities in this world. They were making good money, able to support their families back home, and led a pretty stress-free, comfortable life until their kids started to go to school. We appeared and acted more American than they had anticipated we would. We weren't speaking our native languages. We were not sure about the meaning of all the deities that were set up in the showcases. We couldn't imagine bringing our hands together and saying namaste, let alone touching the feet of elders to show our humble respects. We, meaning me and most of my fellow Indian American first generations, found anything too Indian plain weird. And the parents didn't have time or patience or inclination to explain or insist on these Hindu traditions. Lucky for me, my parents, and for the small 100 family Indian community of Flint, Michigan, we were saved from a potential dissolution of knowing our Hindu faith. In the nick of time, Swami Chinmayananda arrived to Flint, Michigan. Like Mufasa, the Lion King, a brave and understanding father who came to teach the new immigrants about being responsible upholders of Sanatana Dharma and becoming beacons of Hindu culture. He was one of the earliest Hindu stalwarts who brought the teachings of our scriptures to the West. I believe he was dismayed by the waywardness and the loosening of cultural ties by the immigrants, and saddened by the identity crisis faced by the first generation. He saw the Indians in this country toiling away to make money, building big houses, and buying fancy cars. Yet they seemed to be experiencing confusion and some sort of emptiness within them. Obviously, he would say, you lack nourishment, he would say to my parents. You've been uprooted and not properly replanted. At many of the Gita Yajna discourses he held across the country in the 80s and 90s, he would arrive to Michigan every year and warn my parents and all the aunties and uncles of our community. If you don't strengthen your roots soon and sow the valuable seeds of Sanatana Dharma in your community, you're going to have weak trees swaying to a baseless Western culture. You must build a mandir in your community and have a place for your children to come to and learn the dharmic values and our rich Hindu traditions. Then only will we have a strong forest of trees who can transpire the life-giving oxygen of our scriptures and then live in the people they interact with and be inspired and become the best of human beings. Within a year, my parents collected enough funds from the Flint community to build the second Hindu temple in the country. The beautiful traditional Pashchimakashi Sri Vishwanatha temple was built in 1980 and is still a thriving place of worship and education. Of course, portraying my Hinduism in the 1980s was not easy in a high school with only 3 other Indian classmates and a class of 480. It was an effort to fit in and not stand out. My parents wanted me to wear a bindi to school. They wanted me to take leftover rice and curry for lunch. They wanted me to call my white adult neighbors aunties and uncles. Fortunately, the right teachers came along to encourage me to share my traditions, and I had good non-Indian friends who showed a kind curiosity to learn about the Hindu faith. Eventually, I broke my own insecure shell and found a sense of pride in my unique identity as a Hindu Indian. From having the foundation of Balavihar to being an active participant in one of the first chapters of Hindu Student Council at the University of Michigan, an avid teacher of Hatha Yoga, and currently serving as the Hindu chaplain at Duke University, I am proud to embody the teachings of Sanatana Dharma to my core, wherever I may be in the world. Cultural values cannot be taught. They must be caught. Swamiji roared so often. Like I said, he was a regal lion, bringing the importance of Sanatana Dharma to our country. Parents and teachers, it is our moral duty to impart upon our children a true appreciation of the rich traditions of Hindu culture and the eternal values of life, and help them grow in the right direction. Children grow not only from the food we provide them, the physical comforts, but their inner nature, their emotional and intellectual life is molded by the positive examples of living a dharmic life that we can create for them in our homes. I am honored to be here to moderate this morning's session, to understand the youth and their perspectives on leading a dharmic life and having a mandir in their community, and how that impacts their lives now and in the future. I welcome our youth to the stage. We have Siddhi Tantri, Vasundhara Pathak, Arushi Ramka, Shraddha Upadhyaya, and Shashank Murali. Thank you for joining us today. We are proud of these youngsters who who are here to represent the youth. And they'll have just 2 minutes to introduce themselves, where they're coming from, and then they'll share. And Tasha Nair also will be joining us. So we'll start with the first one to my left. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then.
Namaste and Jai Sri Ram. My name is Shraddha Upadhyay. I'm from Atlanta, a mission that I have is called International Ved Vidyalaya. I will talk about this later.
Namaste, my name is Siddhi Tantri, and I'm a junior at Wayzata High School in Minnesota.
Namaste, everyone. My name is Shashank Murali. I'm a recent graduate from the University of Minnesota, and I am from Minneapolis, from the Hindu Temple of Minnesota.
Namaste everyone, Shri Matre Namaha. My name is Arushi Ramaka. I'm a junior at UNC Chapel Hill and a representative of Hindu Students Council.
Namaste, I'm Vasundhara Pathak. I recently graduated from University of Alabama at Birmingham. I currently reside in Georgia, Atlanta. I'm the Hindu Yuva Cluster Coordinator and an HSS Karyakarta.
We'll bring it back to Shraddha. Shraddha, you can start your timer. If you want to explain that to the speakers. You have about 5 minutes to present. 7 minutes each. 7 minutes each, sorry.
Okay, so
And then just note the remaining time.
So when you have 3 minutes left, this will come up. 2 minutes left. Then you want to summarize your thoughts, and then this is when you need to stop. Thank you so much. A big round of applause.
Okay. I have a video that I want to show. If it might take like 2 more minutes, if it's okay.
But it's not with us, right? It's there. Have you sent it to
I have, yes.
Then you may have to shorten your speech to 5 minutes so that we are.
Okay, so I will try to play video later when I'm done explaining. Okay, sound good. Can I have my PowerPoint?
Do you want to stand or do you want to sit? You're comfortable?
I think I'm comfortable.
No, actually go in the order. There is an order. There's an order in that. So if you see Shraddha ji is in that last. So they have lined up in the order.
I see, sorry. Okay. All the videos are in order. Okay. So first we have Kumari Siddhi.
Use the mics. There are 3 or 4 mics. Yeah. Oh, please.
Are my slides up? Not yet, okay. Yep, okay. Namaste everyone, my name is Siddhi Tantri and I'm the Deputy Communications Chair for the Hindu Society of Minnesota. And if that name rings a bell, our President Chajiv Jagannathan and our Chief Priest Murli Bhatter were representing us yesterday. And I'm so excited to be here to talk about youth empowerment and engagement and share my journey as how I became the Deputy Communications Chair. Next slide, please. So this is our temple. It spans 43,000 square feet, making it the 4th largest temple in this country. And I am so fortunate to have a deep connection to this temple. I've been coming to this mandir ever since I was a little kid. And every time I would come, I would find some way to volunteer, whether it was helping the priests set up for the pujas, helping event coordinators set up for their events, helping sell lunch tickets to the crowd. But whatever it was, I felt a sense of fulfillment and joy after doing it. Next slide, please. So as I said, I've been a dedicated volunteer for many years. I also volunteer at our Hindu American Temple School. Our temple offers HATS, which is an education system for ages 4 to 15-year-olds, and it teaches kids the value of Hinduism. After completing all the classes, I'm now a teen volunteer, and I help assist the adult volunteers as well as manage the front desk. But recently, I wanted to figure out a way on how I can do more than just be a volunteer. So I started being an intern. I applied for an internship in May of 2023 for the role of social media strategist and a member on the strategic initiatives team. As a social media strategist, I was on the communications committee, and I helped manage the temple's social media presence on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, as well as sending weekly emails. And as a strategic initiatives team member, I was placed on the Dare to Dream PR management committee, where I helped to market the Dare to Dream initiative. And this initiative was our temple's purpose to build a new, versatile, multi-purpose facility for the youth. So it was our way of connecting and investing in our youth. And I was tasked with the responsibility of finding a way to involve the kids of our community. And so me and another team member created game night. And it was literally just a night where we played games. We played bingo, categories, and charades. And it was really fun and successful. But the best part of the event was that all the donations raised by the youth of the community went to funding the Dare to Dream initiative. And by involving our youth into something that they're going to use in the future, we created a sense of pride and ownership among them. I was also a part of the Youth Initiatives Committee, where I brainstormed ideas on how to involve the youth in the temple, make them want to come to the temple, instead of their parents just forcing them to. Next slide, please. So these are just a couple pictures from game night. As I said, the auditorium was packed. It was a sold-out event, really fun. Next slide. I also had the opportunity to talk about Dare to Dream at our annual youth summer camp. Next slide, please. This year, I was promoted to communications co-chair, or the deputy communications chair, and I had a few more responsibilities on top of managing social media. I also had to manage my own team. So I had a chair above me, and I'm the co-chair, and then we had a team consisting of 8 or so members, one of them being a graphic designer who creates flyers for our temple, and various other people who are in charge of their designated platforms. So someone's taking care of Facebook, and another person's taking care of Instagram, and my job is to give them the necessary information so that they can make those posts. Also, when my chair is absent, I fill in for her, and sometimes I will present to the executive board of HSMN, and I will provide them with any updates that I have about my team. Next slide, please. So our community is very heavily dependent on the social media team to stay informed and connected about all the events at the temple. So we post flyers, events, we have informational posts, as well as things on our calendar. And the informational posts work both ways. We send out posts about religious observances that may not be well known among our community, especially among the second generation. For example, Pitru Paksha. I had no idea what Pitru Paksha was before I started reading the flyers that my temple was posting. So me being involved in my temple, I'm now more connected to my roots. Our team also helps develop marketing strategies time on these social media platforms to post certain things so that we can gain a bigger audience. Next slide, please. So what can you all do to have a sort of similar structure? Well, first, obviously, is creating some sort of youth program or an internship program in your own temples, and having established categories where interns can pick and choose what they're most interested in will help both parties. Also, having a set leadership team whose primary focus is the youth is also really beneficial. And patience is key. Once you have these programs up and running and you have these interns applying for your program, keep in mind that these are high school and kids that are juggling school, extracurriculars, and even sports. But what can you do right now to engage your youth? You can volunteering opportunities. If your temple is hosting a puja, let the community know. Let these high school kids know. And let them come and assist you during the puja. But you also have to offer volunteer hours. The majority of high school students volunteer at their local temples because of the volunteer hours. But they are also seeking the benefits of the Sanatana Dharma that is present at the temple. Will help them want to come to the temple more often. Again, patience is key. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, Siddhi. Very proud of all your work you're doing. Just a high schooler, and look how far she's come. Yesterday, maybe you have seen her dance performance, a wonderful performance of Sri Rama. wonderful initiatives you've taken as a youth in Minnesota. Next, we'll have, Vasundhara Pathak.
Are you able to do without slides? Okay. Are you able to do without it in case? Yeah, I can do it. Okay, go ahead and start.
The program team says that we didn't get those slides.
I sent to the email that was sent. Okay. That's okay. I can do it.
No, what we can do is we can go to the next speaker, and if you can forward it again to us, we'll go to the next speaker.
Arushi will speak next while we wait for Vasundhara's slides to come up. Arushi, you can introduce yourself and then, go ahead.
Okay. Sri Matre Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for inviting me to speak on this panel with all these amazing youth. It's so glad to see other people standing by each other's side in preservance of Sanatana Dharma. My name is Arushi Ramaka. I was born in New Jersey. I founded a chapter of HSC in my high school. Currently, I'm a junior at UNC Chapel Hill and National Director of Education and Awareness at HSC. I first heard about HSC when I was 15, about 5 years ago, when the Rutgers Hindus bravely invited a speaker to talk about Kashmiri Pandit genocide and were withstanding the threat of Hindu phobia against the event. My dad told me about it, and until then, my favorite pastime was arguing with my teachers about Hinduism. So seeing that there's a whole network of Hindus dedicated to preserving Dharma and speaking up about it was wonderful. And everyone has been asking, what is the youth doing? Can we have the next slide? We are certainly doing a lot as youth. Currently, HSC has about 40 college chapters and up to 20 high school chapters. And over the past 34 years, we have engaged hundreds of thousands of youth, organized camps, retreats, and conferences in partnership with a lot of the community organizations that are here today, such as Arsha Vidya, VHP, Hindu Yuva, and many, many more. For example, HSC and Hindu Yuva youth worked together for Holy for Unity during COVID. Yet another example of youth empowering themselves through advocacy. Next slide. I would like to share a couple examples of events. If I had to do all of them, we'd be here all day, so there's just a few. We have examples of encouraging bhakti on campus through student-organized pujas and philosophical events. It's great to see students from all sampradayas come together to do the spiritual events themselves, kind of, be the next generation to continue that dharma. And our high school chapters are also doing the great job. We could go to the next slide. Here's an example of my former high school. They're celebrating Diwali with the principal, a World Bindi Day social media campaign with a bunch of teachers, which led to being able to go to the DEI meeting and advocate for Hindu students in the high school. And we also have pictures of holy celebrations from Rutgers. And often these festivals are a great way for non-Hindus to come have fun with us and learn about the spiritual and philosophical ideas behind our tradition. Next slide. So what are the challenges that Hindu students face on campus, and how does HSC help with that? Often, South Asian groups kind of hijack Hindu festivals by taking away the element of Hinduism. So often having some sort of Hindu student group helps with preserving that aspect of it so it doesn't get appropriated. There's also an unfortunate lack of prayer spaces on campuses because for some reason as a community, we are taught to separate religion from our Western education and career, which is something that is passed down through the generations in what as one scholar told me as a colonial hangover. So we definitely need to recover from that. as a youth who really appreciates the role of mantra, tantra, yantra, Vedanta, and yoga in my life, and has met a lot of other youth who do as well. I found that all it takes is a couple people to speak up that invites so many others to speak up as well. Because a lot of youth are interested in this and they want to learn more. They just need assurance that they have a community that will allow them to. Just this past month, my friends and I at UNC Chapel Hill put together a Ganesh Puja on campus. She's right there as well, who helped me organize it. And we realized how many people want to be spiritual on campus. 8 girls said all the mantras, we put everything together, and we really showed that this is not a quote unquote older generational thing. You know, bhakti towards God is for everyone, and kids want to learn. Just don't make fun of us if we pronounce something wrong. God will forgive American pronunciation. He won't forgive kids being discouraged from participating in dharma. Devi sees all of us as her children. In addition to cultural awareness, as our Hindu phobia panelists pointed out, Hindu phobia is rampant in campuses and classrooms. And I really want to highlight how much Hindu students are doing against Hindu phobia, whether it's HSC or other Hindu orgs. Because often our youth are left in the dark. There's so much content created, but how much of us know about that content? How many here have heard of the Understanding Hindu Phobia Conference of 2022? Can I get a raise of hands? Okay, awesome. Did you guys know that that was a direct response to dismantling global Hindutva? It was our Rutgers and Boston chapters who put that together, got allies from the Armenian community, and got administration members from both universities to attend, and high school students at the time were also on that panel. And can we give a round of applause to student advocates from HSC, UVA, and everywhere else who are fearless against adharma? I'd like to end with a quote from Swami Vivekananda ji. His treatises on Vedanta were some of the ways that I was able to understand it. Arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is achieved. This is what I want you all to take away from this. Sorry, I think next slide I forgot to change it. And the next one. There we go. Okay. So based on this quote by Swami Vivekananda, this is what I want you all to take away from this. Youth are doing things. We need a bit more community awareness. That would be nice. B, it would be wonderful if mandirs could partner with chapters of nearby youth orgs and maintain those community connections. And if they also put out statements of support about situations such as Bangladesh, because that will provide an example to the youth. Because this shouldn't even be a hesitation about being politics. Our blood should be boiling at what's happening to our daughters. There's no point in Navratri if we don't say anything. And see if mandirs can spread the word about the existence of these organizations on campus, like HSC in their Bal Vihars, their student sessions, etc. The community can help these networks grow, so all the organizations can work together to build a safe space for Hindu students of all sampradayas on campus. I'm excited for what the future holds. May Sri Krishna bless us with Kshatriya Tattva, with pan-Hindu unity, and with a generation emboldened in Dharma. Om Shanti.
Beautifully, beautifully said, Arushi. Thank you so much. You've highlighted some of the important aspects of how we need to empower our youth. They are our future, and we just need to provide them with the tools for success so they don't have to face such things as Hindu phobia. As parents, we need to educate them at home, provide them the understanding of what it is we want to teach them of Sanatana Dharma, the basic values, the tenets of our philosophies, our religion, and make them feel like they understand it so they can share it with their communities that they engage in their colleges and their high schools. There should be no fear, but there should be excitement and pride in knowing who they are and where their roots are from. So thank you, Arushi, for all that you've shared. Is Vasundhara's ready to go? Okay, we'll have Vasundhara Pathak share now.
Namaste. I am Vasundhara Pathak from Hindu Yuva. Can I please have the second slide? And Hindu Yuva is a youth-based organization that started in 2006. The word Yuva rightly stands for Youth for Unity, Virtues, and Actions. Hindu Yuva has been built in four P's: protect, preserve, promote, and practice Hindu Dharma on campus. We have 95 plus chapters all across US. We have few chapters in Canada, and we also are trying to have more Hindu Yuva chapters in high school. Can I please have the next slide? Hindu Yuva creates opportunities for college communities to understand and practice Hindu Dharma or the Hindu way of life. We host events on campus like Janmashtami, Ganesh Chaturthi, and among more, Mahashivratri and Hindu New Year. The goal is to educate people about the Hindu festivals that are not just mainstream but have more connection to our Sanatan Dharma. We also host some events to educate people about the Hindu scriptures and some Hindu influentials in our history. Chapters like Georgia Tech, UIUC, University of Alabama host Memansa Study Circle, Vedanta Study Circle to discuss Bhagavad Gita and get an understanding of our Vedas. Next slide. Hindu Yuva has been actively working to empower our youth in various ways. We host events to make sure that people are aware of their identity and feel proud to express who they are, to answer any questions that come across their way. A few minutes back, we heard about Hindu phobia. This is a very serious issue on campus. Almost every other day for every festival, if you're celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi, you're questioned that why do you have a elephant god? To answer all these questions, to give the youth the power and the confidence to express what, why, and how they do, Hindu Yuva celebrates events and actively promotes how to do certain things. We also do Vikas personality development, which is leadership. We provide leadership roles to people on campus to take up the roles and try to work on how to plan an event, how to execute it, and how to stand for your own right. While doing events on campus and celebrating your dharma, we also take initiatives to make sure that we are contributing to society and are doing seva work. A lot of chapters do blood drive or adopt a mile to make sure that they're cleaning their surrounding and giving back to the society. Hindu Yuva also promotes mental and spiritual well-being by organizing activities like yoga, meditation, and emotional resilience and holistic growth. Every year in January, a lot of chapters host a Surya Namaskar Yagna. For 2 weeks, we encourage the youth to do at least one set of Surya Namaskar each morning. While we are doing events, as I said, every day a youth comes across various questions. And always we are targeted on the weak points or the points that maybe youth is not aware of since we are second generation and are not living in India. Our goal is to create advocates, someone who can actively fight and talk about Hindu Dharma and tell what we did and why we did. So where does the temple comes here? Temples are Hindu Yuva's one of the biggest supports. From past few years, whenever we host an event, we always get temple priests or some people from temple to come and teach us how to conduct pujas in a proper Hindu ritual way. They also tell the importance of why we say certain shlokas, why we light a diya, or why we are calling Ganesh Ji before any good auspicious work. Next slide. One of the initiatives that we have taken is Vivekananda House. Vivekananda House is an on-campus living or a platform where Hindu students can actively come and express who they are and practice their Hindutva. We have priests come across, help us do some bhajans, do some artis, and also learn the proper ritualistic way. I want to emphasize that yesterday, a few times we heard about Yuva Conference, Hindu Yuva Conference. This year, 2 weeks back in Los Angeles, Hindu Yuva conducted Hindu Youth's first largest youth conference with 500 plus participants, 25 plus organizations, and this was hosted in Los Angeles BAPS Temple. They were really supportive towards us and helped us conduct the 2-day conference. As I'm concluding, I would like to mention that temples have always been our biggest support. If temples try to work with us and have more visits towards temple, so we can bring those students come and get to know about the temple structure, the functioning, since a lot of campuses don't have the opportunity to take their students on campus. So we can work and bridge this, that we are more meeting frequently and are helping make sure that we understand our Sanatan Dharma. That will be really good. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Vasundhara. You touched great points. We can't get the kids to the temples all the times, but we can definitely bring the temples to the university campuses. I see all our priests and our gurus out here. If ever there comes an opportunity for you to visit the university campuses or even high school settings and just, present yourself, speak with the students, I'm sure they would love for an opportunity to engage in our Hindu culture in their educational settings. That's something we're trying to bridge here even in North Carolina. I'm very honored to be as the Hindu chaplain at Duke. I'm only one here, but we have several great universities who need somebody to be present for those students there, just to, again, be a pillar of resource to help them understand their cultural values, their backgrounds, and answer some of their questions they may have that it comes across while they're studying in their universities. So chaplaincy is new. It's a new concept for our Hindu communities. We have Swamijis with Gyan, we have Pujaris with great rituals, but just a person who can be available to address the issues that students may have. So I'm just putting a plug in there that a lot of our Hindu organizations are now having chaplaincy courses that are certifying youngsters or adults in the community to become chaplains and work with students. It's of course a Christian terminology, chaplain. We can consider ourselves a spiritual mentor, a connection to these youth and people who just need support in their spiritual growth. So thank you, Vasundhara, for all that you've shared. Now we'll have Shashank share.
They pulling up my presentation. Amazing. Namaste, everyone. My name is Shashank Murali. I am from the Hindu Society of Minnesota, and it's a deep pleasure to be here amongst all of you. My first time attending this conference, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be a part of this panel about Hindu youth. And today I will be presenting about some of my personal experiences as a Hindu youth and provide some ideas for all the temples in attendance here to improve youth engagement within their own communities. My father is Chief Priest Murali Bhattar from the Hindu Temple of Minnesota, and I believe I am situated in a unique position where I've had the opportunity to be with the priests, understand everything that they do, but also be a part of the youth at the same time, growing up in my community. So I believe I can offer a very unique perspective that speaks to both sides, that can help us improve how our youth engage within our own community. Om Saraswati Mahabage Vidye Kamalalochane Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidyam Dehi Namostute. So to start off, I will talk a little bit about my personal experience here within my own community. So how have I been involved? I've been in Minnesota and a part of that community since I was 5 years old, and As I started growing older, I come to the temple a lot more often. And I first started off as a front desk volunteer, helping answer questions for the devotees that come to our temple, helping them purchase their archana tickets or answer any questions or help them find the contacts for priests, and just being a part of that, and did that all the way up until middle school. In addition, while I was doing that, I was also a part of the Hindu American Temple School, also known as HATS within our community. I was there since first grade, and I graduated the program when I was in 10th grade.
reading book instead of participating in the puja. And can I have next slide? Okay, so let me talk about my organization that I started 2 years ago, right after my graduation. So while I was growing up and going through some crisis because I had a hard time of explaining who I am and dealing with a two culture, growing 15 at age of teenagers who don't know how to deal with Western culture and the Sanatan Dharma. I was lucky to grow up in the culture where I was privileged to be daughter of the Panditji that who been teaching me everything, and I've been a very curious child. Whenever he say you have to do this, I always ask why. And I was so lucky that he explained me everything in a scientific way instead of just telling the stories. Like we say, how many avatar Bhagavan Vishnu have. He have tell me in a way that is easy to understand for me, as well as if I have to explain other people. So it was evolution, like how the avatar of Saint Vishnu explained the evolution, how we grew up, how we changed our okay. It's my first time, so this is not really want to have make a change. It's a very small initiative, but I believe that it will do a lot of good in the future. I have conducted classes for a year, and those students being really young, age of 8, 9, 10, and end of the class, they know more than I would say the parents would know. And that's made me feel so proud that I'm be able to do something that I would say it's really difficult for the immigrant parents to come to a Western country, work, make money, provide them the best thing that our children need. And while they're working so hard, it's very hard to give them and teach them the true aspect, their roots, where they're coming from. Because as a young children, it's really, really hard to deal with. And I have pointed out some points. Can I have a next? Can we go back, please? Okay. So yes, these are things that I have personally experienced that very hard for the children to explain. Like my peers talks about that. Our parents just say, do this, do that, and without answering our question. So my thing is, who should I blame? Them not following or believing their faith, or should I blame dharmic or following or practicing our dharma? Our parents need to educate themselves first before pointing to the kid, like why they're not following what they're supposed to do. So it's us. Maybe just think about after this generation how we gonna save our religion, not religion, our dharma. How? Like think about we are lucky that our parents are very educated, very uh, dharmic, and they have taught us everything. But think about what's gonna happen after me. If I don't know, then I probably won't be able to teach our kids, which we have in the future. So it's really high time for us to learn about our roots, who we are, where we're coming from. And let me next slide. Next slide. I want to play my videos. That's I'm going really fast. So international, yes, next slide, please. So the purpose of my foundation, our foundation, which I would like to talk about, our foundation is to teach Sanatan Dharma more in a scientific aspect instead of telling the stories, because I have experienced my own when I go to mandir, when I go to any satsang or any guru, they always telling me the story. I don't think we are living in 21st century is going to help us to knowing the story if we don't know the reason behind. What's the purpose? And as a youth, we should always ask questions like why I have to go to satsang? What's the purpose behind the Guruji telling me this? If they're telling me, if they're explaining me in a very scientific and practical way, then I'm more likely to believe in that. And explore the traditional practices. For example, like we go to puja, we do puja, but we don't know why we're doing using jalabhisek, why we're doing using the charanamrit, why we're using panchamrit. Panchamrit is basically shows our 5 elements. So we have to be more scientifically telling kids so they can tell the next kid, because it's very hard to explain the next generation with the stories. So in the International Ved Vidyalaya, we explain them everything from the very basic, starting from pujas and to the mantra. We just chant. We've been chanting mantra since 2 days. But do anyone know the meaning behind it? It's not a song. These mantras have a meaning. We have to learn about the meaning before we chanting them. Then it's more effective. It's just like you talking to me in Hindi and I'm talking to you in Spanish. Nothing really happening here. We're just talking. So we need to understand. And we celebrate in our schools and mandir, we celebrate Janmashtami, as my peers talks about this already. And I was very happy that as a youth, we are so much aware of where the problem is. And we finally figuring out the problem is us to, no one is here to explain us. And that's why with Vidyalaya, I started 2 years ago just to explain them why you're going to mandir, why you're doing puja, why you're using charnamrit. Yes, and next slide, please. Um, so last year I conducted online classes, which is an hour, and I personally, I do experience, I have made change in those kids, and I'm hoping to, in future, more kids to join these classes, just an hour class. We're not saying anything, we're just telling them pure like scientific stuff. And I was so happy to see the scientists who did more research about our Vedas, and it's very helpful for me when I teach my Panditji teach the classes. I do all the work in the back. One more minute. So very soon I'm starting working with the Hindu Yuva in high schools and Seva International, so I can get more engagement with the kid and able to explain them. Next slide, please. And in India, I have started working with a scientist whose mainly his work is on the cosmos from the Sanatan Dharma, like as aspect of scientific Sanatan Dharma. So I'm working on. I know I have a very less time, but I not so much to talk. So India, I'm working with the scientists who's working on Sanatan Dharma. And the next slide, please. To join the class, these are the resources on the slide. If you want to take a picture, you can. That's all. I will play video next time.
We gotta let
Thank you
the
so much.
students speak. They have a voice. They have a lot to say, and thank you. Thank you for your passion and for your excitement and sharing and upholding Sanatana Dharma. We think we're so fortunate. You know, we have so many resources. From 30 years ago when I was growing up here, there was just 1 or 2 places in, you know, a given state where there was teachings and a temple. And now we have in this 5-mile radius, we probably have 5 temples, and we have 5, you know, learning centers. Those hats, I love that term hat, Hindu American temple schools. So everybody put on a hat, everybody wear a hat somewhere locally to you, or even if it's not a temple, it might be a group of Indian community members coming together to share and uphold those values that we so strongly believe in. I know it's like talking to or singing to the choir here, because everybody who's here already wants to do this, already wants to maintain our culture. We're so proud of being Hindus and Sanatanis, and we need to reach out further. This community alone in RDU, we have about 40,000 Indians, and it's like reaching out to them, those who are not practitioners, those who are the Hindu in name only, those who are not able to share their identities, they should be here. But since you're representing, we all have to go out and make that happen to make sure that our culture is highlighted and understood and upheld. So we have one more speaker. I'm excited to share. Tasha Nair is here.
Namaste, everybody. I'm the youth coordinator at the Hindu Temple of Central Indiana, and our temple has done amazing things, but today I'm going to specifically focus on just one of them, which is actually interfaith integration, which has helped combat a lot of the issues that most of us face in our lives. And I'm also going to focus on what our generation can do to help implement it so that our future generations can benefit. And it all starts when I dully walked in to another day of strenuous work. I was ready to be bent over a table alongside my many employees. In the infamous words of Dolly Parton, I was going to work my 9 to 5. Okay, I might be exaggerating just a little bit. I was actually walking into elementary school, ready to begin the 4th grade. But hey, the 4th grade does have its struggles, and it's not easy for everyone, especially not me and my friend group of 4. And somehow, just as my feet had hit the carpet, I began to feel the terrors and exhaustion of a hard day's work. But thankfully, one of my closest friends walked up to me and excitedly told me that she had some lip glosses for us to try. So we ran to the bathroom, but to my dismay, my cherry pink lip gloss looked clear on my skin as opposed to the vibrant colors on my friends with fair complexions. So when I got home, I placed that lip gloss on the counter to never be touched again. And it took me a long time to realize that instead of hiding my culture as I did my lip gloss, instead, I could have something to give. And through our temple and our Balgokulam program, it has slowly and insidiously worked its magic on me. As I have attempted to understand myself and the divine, I began to see myself and my fellow human beings. It's hard to see the inconsequential differences between us, like the color of our hair, skin, and eyes, when we are essentially all experiencing the same things, the same emotions and teenage feelings, at times silly, and at other times glorious. Interfaith integration given to me by our temple has allowed me to celebrate my differences and let them shine through me. To realize that there's no issue if someone goes to church on Sunday instead of the temple or covers their hair instead of letting it free. Because at the end of the day, they're just a different me. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one big family. And we need to strive to understand the differences in our deep and ancient culture because we cannot accept other cultures without understanding our own first. In my mere 16 years at the temple, I have just scratched the surface of understanding our rich history and the values that we share with others. And we need to implement in all of our education the importance of mutual respect. Because even if I conflict with somebody else's beliefs, I must learn to respect and live alongside them. However, this does not come without first understanding our moral obligation of tolerance. To respect others, we must tolerate them first. And it's not a passive act, but rather an active choice to reach out, to be a friend. And once we do that, we understand that diversity is our strength, and all of our different shades come together to make a beautiful rainbow. And the last thing that I want to advise for all of us is to understand that we have to nurture our community as youth to create something that showcases and represents every faith equally instead of showcasing just one. And in doing so, we are the biggest beneficiaries to our health, well-being, and empathy. So today, we have applied the lip gloss of acceptance, looked into the mirror of understanding, and set aside our feelings of ignorance. And in doing so, we realize that there's no issue if we're a plum sugar instead of a cherry pink. And in a wide array of different colors, shapes, and sizes, especially through faith, each individual serves a purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasha. That was amazing. You have a gift for sharing and talking and so eloquent. Thank you. All of these speakers, courageous, bold, curious. Yeah, stand up, give them applause. They are our pride and joy. They will carry forth the torch of Sanatana Dharma. We are very proud of them, and we have to live up to what they want from us. It is our purpose as parents, as the senior generation, to give the junior generation what they need, the tools to allow them to be strong Sanatana Dharmis. I conclude our This is Shraddha's video, or
So I will, don't shoot the messenger, but I have been also told that there are some people who have to catch the flight also. So we have to, be on the schedule. So please, Shama Prarthi, already, I'm going to apologize. I will check, it's a request. So it's 9:55. I think we are behind schedule for 25 minutes, from 25 minutes, if you see the things. We'll let this session go 5 more minutes. Let the video being, but 10, we will start the next one. If while we are, the answer might take 2-3 minutes. So anybody who didn't get a chance to talk on stage or ask a question, I will ask that person to, okay, gentlemen. As I said, 10 o'clock, we'll start the next session.
Sure. Hemant Amin with Hindu Center Charlotte. And we are absolutely proud of each of you. And many of us, you are representing many of you, right? So we are absolutely proud. Only question and concern we have to support you is you are doing excellent to spread our dharma among you, among others. But what we want, what the question and concern I have is what do you do to attract other faiths, maybe getting rid of whatever belief against us, and what are the challenges you are facing and how we can support you.
Thank you so much. As I said, there is only 4 minutes, I know.
Okay. Oh. Working? Hello? Okay. That's a good question. And I think it comes back to, yes, sometimes we are our own enemy, right? Our youth sometimes can be their own enemies in the face of religion. And it's because they don't understand. Like I said during my presentation, there's a lack of understanding. So we have to cater to that as much as we can. Whenever you go to the temple with your children or there's a youth there, ask them, be like, do you understand what's going on? Create an environment where they are encouraged to ask questions. When you do that and when you answer, and sometimes even answering scientifically, it significantly increases any doubts they have in their mind, because then they have a better understanding. So encourage questions, answer them scientifically when possible. If you don't know, ask Google or ask your priest.
play the video now.
Is the video ready? But we'll make sure.
Namaste.
before
and
this
welcome
session
to
ends, or
International Ved
if the
Vidyalaya.
video is not ready, we'll
We
get
are a
this.
foundation dedicated to preserving and educating people about Sanatan Dharma and its teachings. Today, we'll discuss what Sanatan Dharma is, why there is a disconnection between current and last generation, and why the International Ved Vidyalaya is essential. What is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma is an ancient dharma that has been practiced for thousands of years. The word Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma, when translated loosely, means inherent nature, righteous conduct, and moral duties. Sanatan Dharma teaches us how to live life with righteousness and morality, emphasizing the importance of peaceful coexistence and harmonious living. Unfortunately, in today's world, many people are disconnected from Sanatan Dharma and its teachings, primarily due to a lack of education and exposure to its principles. The current generation often doesn't have access to the ancient texts that describe Sanatan Dharma's concept, leading to a gap of understanding. The International Ved Vidyalaya is essential because we aim to educate people about Sanatan Dharma and provide them with access to its literature. We believe that everyone should have equal opportunities to educate themselves about their culture, traditions, and dharma. Our objective is to provide a platform for people to learn and grow regardless of their social, economic, and geographical background. At the International Ved Vidyalaya, we aim to bridge the gap between the current and the last generation by educating people about Sanatan Dharma. We believe that it's essential to understand our traditions and culture, and we are committed to providing quality education to individuals worldwide. The Foundation seeks support to take this unique opportunity to save the Vedic Dharma and glorious history by sharing its knowledge to everyone. The goal of the foundation is to motivate individuals to become good human beings by imparting knowledge of religion and science, which would ultimately lead to harmony and peaceful coexistence. Join hands with the foundation on this exciting journey and let's learn and grow together. As Hindus, we are proud of our Vedic Dharma and our glorious history, which is taught through Vedic science and Sanatan Dharma. But preserving this knowledge has been a challenge in recent times. It is a challenge Pandit Gyan Prakash Upadhyay is invested in, and he is reaching out to you for support in our mission. The International Veda Vidyalaya Foundation, established by Panditji with a deep interest in Indic civilization and history. He is from Pratapgarh district of Uttar Pradesh. In 2018, he was honored with Pravasi Bharatiya Ratna by Government of India and Government of Uttar Pradesh for his efforts in social fields. The aims of foundation are to preserve Sanatan Dharma and culture by providing education on Vedic science and Indian history to children with an emphasis on character building. The mission is to protect the ancient Indian Vedic education system, its glorious history, and spread knowledge to people all over the world. The goal of the foundation is to motivate individuals to become good human beings by imparting knowledge of Sanatan Dharma and Vedic science. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
At this time, I just want to conclude our youth empowerment and youth session. If you could all stand up, and we would like to take a pledge. This comes from Swami Chinmayananda. This is a pledge we say every Sunday. I'm sure all the schools of Hindu learning, we all believe in the same thing. Just to stand tall, maybe your hand on your heart. We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values, within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is a service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat. Thank you all. Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Priyaji, and thank you so much for all youth. Now I'm going to call Tejal Ben on the stage, and after Tejal Ben, please Sunita Agrawal ji, you can come here.
Namaste, Hari Om. Namaste, Hari Om. May I request Swami Sadvijnananand to come on the stage? We missed to honor her yesterday. So please just come on. We would like to honor you. You blessed us yesterday and we missed it. Vallabhaji, please come on the stage quickly to honor Swamini Sadvijnananand. Swamini ji is from Arshvidya Gurukulam. She is a direct disciple of Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji Maharaj, who is the inspirer for this HMEC. She has been traveling single-handedly and doing lot of prachar of Vedant as well as the Vedic Dharma. Dhanyavad Swamini ji for being with us for 3 days.
Sunita ji, please come on the stage.
Namaste, everyone. On behalf of not only just Dayton Hindu Temple and our community, but from all of us here and from all the temples, I like to say a word of tribute for the Ram Lala Rath Yatra. And I'm going to call upon Amitabh Mittal ji and Tejal Ben. And I'm going to read our sentiments, and it is from all of us. Amitabh Mittal ji, please come. Okay. A tribute to HMAC Ram Lalla Rath Yatra. As Ram Rath rolled through our grounds, we watched with wonder all around. Tejal ji's grace steady and bright, Amitabh ji's greetings full of light. From mandir to mandir they traveled far, city to city like a shining star. East to west carrying Ram Lalla Vigrah with boundless devotion, auspicious and humble. No hunger or thirst could slow their way. In their mission, strong they stayed. Carrying Ayodhya's Akshat Kalash so high, like Ram's Shakti is touching the sky. As I look back, my heart does swell with joy so deep, words can tell. In a Alaukic journey so pure and true, I feel Jai Ram Shakti flowing through. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you so
We-
much. All right.
Niyati Ben Vasani, she is the behind the Ram Rath Yatra logistic. We have to give a big round of applause to. She single-handedly worked with on all the logistic for us with 3 kids. Okay, one she has in her hand. Dhanyavad.
Moana.
Manan Rawalji was always there for us as well. Bharat FM, our media partner, he also traveled with us. He also made it possible to have the world record certificate done. So all these efforts, we are coming together. And Catherine G as well. She's also part of the media team. She's somewhere behind, making sure the media is working fine. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Okay, now Lakshmi ji is going to take over. Lakshmi ji, please come here. Lakshmi ji.
Namaste. We have to move on. Actually, we are in quite a time crunch here. For the first 10 minutes, we will slow down. Actually, we're improvising a little bit. We're changing a little bit now, and we will do the rest of them later, and we will explain later why we are doing this. We request Sriman Ronur Murli Bhattarji to facilitate the to facilitate the award, and the award will be given by Shri Bhagwati Saraswati Sadhi Bhagwati Saraswati ji. So every year, this is our tradition. We do honor our priests, right? Archaka Bhushana for the most senior priest, Archaka Shri for the priests with experience but not quite as senior. And then this year we added the third category. I will explain the awards in a minute later. Actually, when we have a few more minutes of time. But for now, the first Archaka Bhushana award is to Sriman Rajendra Joshi ji, and please, Rajendra Joshi ji, please come onto the dais. Rajendra Joshi ji, please. Thank you, Sadhviji. Namaste. Now we have a special guest actually visiting us from Swaminarayan Temple. Is he ready? We need the chair, actually. We need to tell Lakshman that we need the chair actually for him, for the family. Yeah, we need to vacate. You ask him to come here? No, we need to vacate the chair. We need the chair actually for that, for Swamiji to Is Swamiji here?
Yeah, he's already here. Some logistical arrangement is okay.
Okay. Okay. Namaste. We have a special a guest from Swaminarayan Temple. He will be arriving in very shortly. While we are waiting for his arrival, I'll give you now the sequence of the things how we are going to do what actually. We are making a few arrangements here on the side actually, for accommodating the Swamiji. So once he comes here, we will bring him and we will honor him. And after that, we will continue with our award ceremony. This is the sequence of our award ceremony. So the first awards will be HMEC awards. There are 2 awards will be given to the people that have been making significant contributions towards the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and HMEC, Hindu Mandir Executive Conference. There will be 2 awards that will be given by Sanjay ji. After that, we will commence our awards with Archaka Bhushana Awards. This year, we will be giving 7 Archaka Bhushana Awards. What are these Archaka Bhushana Awards? We started this tradition back in 2016 to honor, during every HMPC, we honor priests that have, been serving the Hindu community in North America for more than 25 years, right? So we will be honoring the priests that have made significant contributions in serving the Hindu community in North America for more than 25 years. So Archaka Bhushana Awards, this year we will be honoring, and again, it is our honor to honor these priests, these seven priests. And then last year, we introduced an award, Archaka Shri, right? So there are a lot of priests that are making significant contributions, but 25 years is a very, 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 very long time, actually, right? So we want to make sure we recognize the efforts of these priests, sometime in the middle, right? So these are the priests that have been in a good reputation, 10 years to 25 years, period. And then this year, we are introducing a new award called Hindu Dharma Paripalaka. There are a lot of, religious people that are serving the religious community, providing religious services, but they may not be, Vedic or Agamic trained, like our priests here. So we are recognizing people that have been making significant contributions from the religious perspective to the community, yet they are not, the completely 100% trained priests. So we will be honoring 2 awards this year also. So
Let's do the Dharma Paripalaka award for Mama first. So she comes here, we honor her, and then she sits. No women come in between.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we will do. There is a. This year we are honoring Hindu Dharma Paripalaka Award to Mata Krishna Priya Devi Dasi ji. She is 95 years old. She just, she is not. She's a little bit, ill health also. So we'd like to honor her so she can go back to her place. We ask Murali Bhattarji to bring Mata Krishna Priya Devi Dasi ji to come here and. We ask Sanjay Mehta ji to come in and felicitate the award.
So this says that 11th Hindu Mandir Priest Conference confers the title of Hindu Dharma Paripalak to Mata Krishna Priya Devi Das ji, ISKCON, New Global Dham, Hillsburg, North Carolina.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pistaya Bhutale, Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prachadine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pashyatadi Shatadine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, and all of you with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. It is my great honor to be here with all of you today. And I offer my respects unto my worshipful Istadev, Shri Shri Radhagalokananda, who has done so much to attract people to their lotus feet. Thank you all for the beautiful service you're doing here and guiding the youth in Sanatana Dharma. The next generation will change the face of the world. And thank you again for inviting me. I'm very, very gracious for this opportunity to be in all of your company. Thank you for all the service you're doing. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Now, I request Kishore Trivedi ji to come onto the stage and lead the welcoming of Swami Sukhmani ji. Sit down in the front row, and then we'll continue with the rest of it.
Sorry.
So we'll honor the people to Santhis, and then we'll bring them down into the front row, and then we'll do the honoring of the place. Okay.
Namaste and Hari Om. Jai Swami Narayan. We are doubly blessed today with two Swamijis from BAPS Sanstha. First, I will introduce Pujya Swami Shukmani ji. He grew up in UK, and in 1981 he received Diksha from Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj, and through BAPS he has served India, UK, and currently he lives in BAPS Atlanta as a senior Sant and serving the Southeast region. We have Pujya Swami Agampriya Ji Maharaj, who is born and brought up in US. He completed his honors in business, and in 2014, fairly recently, he received Diksha from Pramukh Swami Maharaj and lived in Sarangpur. He is supporting BAPS, both Bal and Kishore activities in Southeast region. We will now have Sajjan ji present bouquet to Shukmani ji Maharaj. And we will have Ajay Bhai present shawl to Shukman ji Maharaj. Ji is here. Yeah. And we have Himanshu Bhai present bouquet to Agampriya Ji Maharaj. And Amitabh Ji present shawl to Agampriya Ji. Would they want to say something?
Pinky, can you please sit?
Shri Swaminarayan Bhagavan Jai, Akshar Purushottam Maharaj Jai, Radha Krishna Bhagavan Jai, Siyavar Ramchandra Bhagavan Jai, Umapati Shankar Bhagavan Jai, Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj Jai, Guru Hari Mahant Swami Maharaj Jai. First of all, Jai Swaminarayan, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Siya Ram to everyone seated here. As we have the presence of so many pujaris, I would like to take this opportunity for the first minute that we do a heartily prayer for all those affected by the Hurricane Helene here in the US. So can we, for the first minute, close our eyes and pray to God that everybody be looked after and cared for. We observe a minute of silence. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagavan Jai. Before I start, I'd like to congratulate HSNC for their acquiring of the zoning for their expansion program of the Mandir. Congratulations. Secondly, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for standing beside BAPS in the recent event of the vandalization of a few of our mandirs. Once again, thank you very much for being with us. Thirdly, thanking the committee who last year had prepared so well for this function here at Raleigh. And I'm not saying the word hijacked, but BAPS somewhat turned the table and brought the meeting to Robbinsville. And it was the generosity, the understanding, the consideration, and the kindness of everybody at HMEC as well as HSNC. So once again, on behalf of BAPS, thank you for accommodating our request last year. I've heard that the last 2 days have been very wonderfully experienced and enjoyed by everyone seated here. And some of the topics that we've discussed, they're aimed at growth, they're aimed at expansion, and they're aimed at sustainability. But the key point was that however big we grow here in America, we must keep our roots firmly rooted back in Bharat. And that is very crucial because anything that needs growth or expansion or sustainability needs a source. For example, the Ganga, it has a source from where it starts and it is always given water all the way down till it meets the sea. If we really want to continue our service of uniting Hindu Dharma, Sanatan Dharma here in the United States, firstly is that we must feel very proud of where we come from. Because India has a lot to contribute, not just to ourselves, but to the whole world. But whether the whole world accepts us or not, we must accept that Bharat is a wonderful nation. Bharat the Desh has great seers. Bharat Desh has great contributions to the world, and I am a part of Bharat. Secondly, when we talk about growth, our spiritual master, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, used to give a very simple example. That what is growth? Is it about numbers? It's not about numbers. Growth is about ensuring that the one person that comes to us is fully nurtured. And his example was very apt. That you have a small sapling that you're planting as a tree. You just don't plant and you run away. You plant it, you water it, you ensure that there's sunlight on it, and you also help protect it from harsh winds, bad weather. Then that tree grows, it becomes strong, it becomes fruitful, it becomes a great item for me and you to see with our own eyes. But the key point is nurturing continuously, a consistent effort to grow a tree. I was told that youth empowerment is one big, great talk that you have been discussing over the past many years. These youth actually, they do want to be a part of us. But the sad thing is that we don't have the time or the patience to nurture them. If we want to grow our youth into Bharat Hindu Dharma, then me and you are going to have to give more time, be more patient, and dedicate ourselves in nurturing the youngsters. The second is expansion. Expansion is not about expanding the buildings. The great thoughts that all of you have in your hearts of unity, of compassion, of love, of nonviolence, of service, of faith, of love in God, faith in God, trust in God. How can we expand those great qualities? Again, Pramukh Sai Maharaj used to give a simple example that you have a diva. In a dark room, you have one diva. It gives you a certain amount of light. But then you, from that diva, you ignite another diva and you place it in the same room. The light is doubled. The more divas you ignite and place in that dark room, the illumination in that light, in that dark room, eventually the darkness goes away. So what is the message Pramukh Swami gave through this? Swami Shri said that each one of us are candles. Each one of us are light. The more we can take the light away in different candles, in different divas, darkness will be removed and light will prevail. Think about it. The Venkateshwar Mandir in Pittsburgh. Some years ago, they started a food service for the homeless. It was a small mandir offering a small service, a good service, a very good heart, very well-natured people. Other communities of the Hindu associations and organizations, they saw that, look, these guys are doing really good service to humanity. Let us also start with them. So they took the idea and they started to do some community service. Then another Hindu organization, they took inspiration from Venkateshwar Mandir and they started doing it. So what does this mean? That if we can start in unity, learning from each other the good that we all do, and promoting that in our capacity, wherever we are, whoever we are, can you imagine just the quality of non-violence? If we can share that with the world, would there be these fights in the Middle East? Would there be these wars? Would there be hatred? But it starts with me and you. And the biggest thing in this is not to ever feel that why is this group doing this? Why is that group doing that? Why is that group doing this? We should feel so happy if any Hindu Dharma organization is doing any mode of service, we should be happy. What is sustainability? Each one of us are worried about our youngsters, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Each one of us are worried about our own family youngsters as well as our own association Hindu youngsters. There has come a time that you feel so harassed by their thinking, by their logic, that will they accept Hindu Dharma? Will they practice the rituals? Will they accept the ceremonies that we conduct? It is tough, but it's not impossible. BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha, we have honestly for the last 50 years, I'm not saying struggled, but we have given our every piece of effort, our blood, our sweat to make sure that the youngsters, they understand Hindu principles and teachings and they follow and practice Hindu Dharma. The reason behind this is the spiritual master, the Guru, Pramukh Sai Maharaj, and currently Mahan Sai Maharaj.
I was just speaking to Sajjanji that when we look at their lives, we are so inspired because they feel in their hearts that every single person is mine. I should be available to help any person on this earth, whoever he or she may be. I gave him an example. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he wrote in his life 750,000 letters. That is no joke. It's easy for me to have a group of 500 people on WhatsApp and send one message to them. That doesn't mean that's personal. It is not unique to one individual. It's a broadcast. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he spent time. He gave his heart to each and every person. When we look at the Swamis that Pramukh Swami Maharaj initiated, 80% are under the age of 35. 80%. I think he's 33 and I'm 60. But just imagine what was there in Pramukh Swami Maharaj that these youngsters, they saw. What they saw was honesty. We have to be so truthful to ourselves and to our people. The second thing the youngsters, they feel in him is love. We have to give more love to the youngsters than giving love to our own self. You know, we care so much about ourselves. Every morning we wake up and we look in the mirror and think, how do we look? Pramukh Swami never. I told Sajjanji just now that even if you walked into Pramukh Swami Maharaj's bedroom at 3 a.m. in the morning and woke him up, he was ready to serve you and help you because he loved every single person. He loved every single person, and that is what the youth, they need. Our youth, they want love. In Dallas, there's a Hindu community who felt that Diwali every year we celebrate, but the youngsters are not too keen to attend. So what did he do? He started a class where the youngsters were initiated very basic teachings of Hindu Dharma. Diwali. What is the meaning of Diwali? Lord Ram's coming back into Ayodhya, XYZ. And then he played games with them which were based on Hindu Dharma teachings. He phoned them once a week. He took care of them. When their results came back, if he was sad or she was sad, he would phone them. He would call them to the mandir. He would do a prayer together in front of God that that person, that student can do well next time. He kept on giving love to these youngsters today. 15 of those 50 youths that he had managed to serve early years, maybe 5 years ago, are now youth leaders. We can do it if we give selfless love to the youth. Be caring, be considerate, be loving and be understanding, be available and also be forgiving. Because they may make mistakes, but if we have a large heart to forgive, then they will come to us. So when we look at successes, as Sajjanji had mentioned to me that BAPS has been successful, I'm not saying nobody else has been successful. You all have been successful. Like I said, don't go on numbers, but go on individuals that you have been able to produce. The greatness lies not in numbers, but in depth. So today, whilst all of you are seated here, my only internal request is that never give up. BAPS is with you and you are with BAPS. We are one big, huge family. We need you, you need us. We must all work together and share the ideas. And we must make sure that we serve Sanatan Hindu Dharma till our last breath. We are here not just to discuss. When you go back, when I go back, we must make sure we implement all the teachings, all the studies, the research that has been produced to us and given to us, and we make sure that our youngsters, they begin to love coming to the mandir, they love conducting ceremonies, they love Hindu Dharma, and the next time we meet, I would love to see youngsters in your place. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagavanani Jai.
On behalf of HMEC and HMPC, I would like to thank Swamijis for coming here and blessing us and giving us the address. Thank you very much. Sanjay, Ajit.
I just want to thank Swamijis, both the Swamijis from bottom of our hearts for coming here and blessing this gathering. So thank you very much, Swamiji. Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you very much. Now we will start with our planned HMEC and HMPC awards. Can we turn the Mangalavajam, the Nadaswaram on? So the first in just a little bit lower. Yeah, a little bit lower. Yeah. First in the order is the HMEC awards. I request Sanjay ji to come in here and announce the two awards for the.
So HMEC since last year we started. I mean, there are contributors to HMEC who are not even present in the audience. So that's their contribution, right? They're so old now that they cannot come, but they have contributed to HMEC for last like more than 2 decades. So we want to just honor 2 of them. So one is, you know this person, many of you know this, Stephen Knapp. He's Sri Nandan Das. He's from ISKCON, and he was all the time in HMEC, first person to register for HMEC, first person to come to HMEC, stayed the whole HMEC, will interact, but he's not keeping well. He cannot travel now. So we called him. He said, my blessings, my pranam to all the HMEC delegates. So we are giving a plaque to him. We'll mail this to him. Hindu Mandir Executive or Empowerment Conference, HMEC, honor Stephen Knapp, Sri Nandan Das, to acknowledge his contribution to this program, right? So we'll mail it to him. So, and another, one of our Mataji is, she was right from the beginning to part of the HMEC, Srimati Arunima Sinha. She lives in South Carolina, but she is still old enough not to be part of this. But they have contributed in the beginning. And I remember these 2 people, they were showing up right in the start of the conference. They stayed till the end. We talk to us is about. It is not just speaking and just always presenting. It is being together. So Arunima Sinha ji, we are recognizing your contributions. We'll mail this to her. Thank you.
Now we will start the priest awards actually, and I request Murali Bhattarji to invite all of the priests onto the dais, please.
ॐ आशिष्युषानारुषभो न युद्मो गना गणः शोभनश्चर्षणेन सङ्क्रन्दनो निमिष एकविरशतकंसेन अजयत्साकमिन्द्रः सङ्क्रन्दनेन युत्करेण विष्णुना तदिन्द्रेण जयत तत्सह द्वंयुधो नर इषु स्तेन वृष्णा स इषु हस्तैः स निषङ्गे वसे सग्रस्रष्टा सयुध इन्द्रो गणेन सगं सृष्टजत्सोमपाबाहुषध्यो त्वधन्वा प्रतिहिताभिरस्ता बृहस्पते परिधीया रथेन रक्षो मित्रागम् अपपादमानः प्रबन्ध्यन्सेना प्रमृणोयुत जयन्नस्माकमेत्यभितारथानां गोत्रमिदो तमज्म प्रमृणन्तमोजसा
Now we will announce the priests actually that are receiving the awards, and I will give the temple name. We are not going to give a biography, or like we don't have, unfortunately we don't have time for speeches. So we will honor the priests, and then Murali Bhattarji will say a few words at the end about all the priests, because he knows every one of them almost throughout the process. So the first, can we have the slides, please? The first one, first we request LV Rajgopal Bhattarji and Abhaya Asthanaji to come and facilitate the award.
So L.V. Gopal Bhattarji is a senior-most priest in America, one of the, and he was the first priest in Atlanta. So when Hindu Temple of Atlanta started, he was the first priest, and he is a very good person and dedicated to God and community, and he did a great service in Atlanta area and all over America. He did several Kumbh Abhishekams.
Next, we request Sriman Narayan Bhattarji from Hindu Temple of Delaware, and I request Sanjay ji to come in and facilitate the award.
Narayana Bhattarji just recently retired from Hindu Temple of Delaware, Lakshmi Temple. He served in the in America for almost 28 years, and he has a very good name all over the country. And Delaware also, all devotees respect him a lot in that area. We are very happy to honor senior most priest in our community.
Next, we request Sriman Varadarajan Golluru. He is from SP Temple of North Carolina, Cary, North Carolina, and we request Sriman Tejul Shaji to facilitate the award.
So Vardarajanji serving in this area, Cary, he is the priest at Cary Hindu Temple. Yesterday I was talking to their president and chairman, and they were talking very good about both of their priests, and one more priest is going to coming down. We are very happy to honor Vardaracharyuji on his Pancharatragama specialization in all pujas that he has been doing in this country for more than 20 years. Thank you very much.
Request Sriman Satyanarayana Acharya Garu Dittakavi from Sri Venkateswara Temple of North Carolina, and we request Himanshuji to come in and present the award.
Satyanarayana Acharya again, local priest here in Cary SP Temple, and he has been serving in the temple for last 20 years. As I said earlier, their president and their temple management were talking about very good things on them, and we are very happy to hear this kind of talks from the temple management about their priests. We are very happy to honor Satyanarayana Acharya.
Next, little bit lower, please. Next, we request Sriman Devanathan Mahadevanji from South Florida Hindu Temple, Florida, and we request Vallabhaji to facilitate the award.
So Devanathan Mahadevan Shivacharya, he is the Shaivagama specialist. He was serving in Cincinnati, then he moved to Florida, and I know him from last more than 25 years, and very good recognized priest, and also very specialized in Shaivagama, and we are very honored and happy to honor Devanathanji.
Next, we request Lakshmipuram Govinda Bhattarji from Hindu Temple of Rochester, Pittsburgh, New York, and we request Sriman Kishorji to facilitate the award.
Lakshmipuram Govinda Bhattarji has been serving in this country for last 28 years. In only single temple in Rochester, he came to Rochester, and still he is serving in Rochester Temple, and all his dedication and his service to the temple, whole community is appreciating, and also their president is right here, Kumarji. They were all talking about him. We are very happy to honor Lakshmipuram Govinda Bhattarji.
Next, we request Shriman Chet Rizalji from Hindu Society of North Carolina, our own, the host here, and we request Sri Kumar Daveji to give the facilitate the award.
Chetji is a resident priest of this temple, HSNC, and he has been serving in this temple for more than 20 years. And also temple management, they're all appreciating his services for last more than 20 years in this temple. And also, if it's a 15 years or 20 years, 25 years, continuing in the same temple is a great achievement, and also commitment to the temple and the community. And we are very happy to Chet Rizalji to honor on this.
Next, we have Shriman Lakshmikant Tumkur from Hindu Center of Charlotte, North Carolina, and we request Lakshman Prajapati to facilitate the award.
Again, Hindu temple, and their temple management president is right here, and he has been serving there for last more than 18 years. And priorly he served in Pittsburgh SV temple. After that he moved here. He has been serving very dedicatedly to the community and the temple, and everyone appreciates his services to the community and temple. And we are very happy to honor Lakshmi Kantji.
Next, we have Shriman Balaji Varadaraj Bhattar from Hindu Center of Charlotte, North Carolina, and we request Sant Gupta ji to facilitate the award.
Balaji Varadaraja Bhattarji is a third generation priest in this country. So he is his grandfather. He came to first time to inaugurate do Prana Pratisthapana at SV Temple, Pittsburgh. His grandfather in 70s. After that, his father served as a priest in SV Temple, followed by Balaji Bhattar is serving now in Charlotte Hindu Temple. And we are very happy to honor Balaji Bhattar. He's a third generation priest in this country. So, and also he has a very good name in the community, and in Charlotte Hindu Temple, all temple management talks about his services. Thank you very much.
And finally, we have introduced, as we mentioned, this year we introduced a new award, Hindu Dharma Paripalaka, and we're very honored to provide the inaugural Hindu Dharma Paripalaka Award. Mataji received it also. This year, the inaugural award is another person that is receiving is Shriman Praveen Shuklaji from North Carolina, Hindu Society of North Carolina, Morrisville, our own host team here. And Mohinder Gulati will be facilitating the award.
Praveen Shuklaji is he's like a priest, and he's Hindu Dharma Paripalak. That is what is award today, and he has been supporting Hindu Dharma to keep up the Hindu Dharma and helping to do all the Hindu rituals in this area. We are very happy to honor senior most. I request all awardee priests, please bless all HMEC members and also all HMPC, please.
Om Om Rudyasmahavye namaso vasadya mitram devam mitradejannostu anurada vishvabdayanta sanjeeve vasaradasavina Shivarjasya vaishyavaragyamavidhacho Danyam tanam pasum bhagaputra labam sadasamvatsaram Irgamayo Sadamanam bhavati sadayaga purushatendriya Ayushdevendriye Rochano rochana sovana svara kalyana
Jai Shri Ram.
अस्मिन् हिंदू धर्म परिपालन कर्मणि उत्तरतः अभिवृद्धिरस्तो सनातन धर्मः अभिवृद्धिरस्तो सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु धर्म की जय हो अधर्म का नाश हो प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो विश्व का कल्याण हो ओम द्यौग
शांति पृथिवी शांतिरापः शांतिरोषधयः
शान्तिः वनस्पतयः
शांतिर्विश्वे देव शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वज्ञं शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेते ओम शांति 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 वो
गुरु प्रजाभ्यो अभयन्नः पशुभ्यः स्वस्त्यस्तु ते कुशलमस्तु चिरायुरस्तु गोवाजी हस्ति धन धान्य समृद्धिरस्तु ऐश्वर्यमस्तु बलमस्तु रिपुक्षयोस्तु वंशे सदैव भवतां हरिभक्तिरस्तु मंत्रार्था सफला सन्तु सन्तु पूर्णा मनोरथाः शत्रूणां बुद्धिनाशोस्तु मित्राणाम् उदयस्तवः यावद् भागीरथी गंगा यावद् देवो महेश्वरः यावद् वेदाः प्रवर्तन्ते तावत् त्वं विजयी भव लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हर नमः पार्वती पतये रमारमण गोविंद
Hari Om. We have only one thing we need to tell that Rajendra Joshi ji, we did him earlier. Our convener Lakshmi ji is going to tell.
So Rajendra Joshi ji.
Rajendra Joshi ji, we did earlier because of some logistics to take care of for some logistic things. And Rajendra Joshi ji is a senior most priest serving in Louisville, Kentucky area for last 28 years in Louisville temple, in a same temple for last more than 28 years. And he has a very, very well known in that community. And even though he speaks Gujarati mother tongue, but he learned how to communicate in Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and other languages also. And we are very happy to honor Rajendra Joshi ji, and also he's a part of HMPC planning committee also. Thank you. Thank
We request Sanjay ji to come in for next remarks.
Okay, so we have Sanjay Gupta ji. He is going to do closing remarks, and he is editor of Hindu Vani. Sorry. Please have a seat back there. Please do not talk. This is our closing ceremony. So please everybody sit down. I have request everybody sit down and stop talking, please. I see back of the people there talking. Please have a seat. 15 have a seat and please stop talking. Front here also, please. All the priests, please sit down. I have request, please sit down. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you put the slide up, please? Jai Sri Ram. Okay, so last couple of days, we have all got very inspired by all the talks, Swamiji's, all the good work our youths are doing. So this is towards the closing of this event until we meet again next year. I'm going to say a few words. Our youths were saying about Sanatan. Why we are Sanatan? Most people know eternal means we don't have a beginning and we won't have any end. The reason why we won't have an end is because we are always evolving. We learn new things and we improve. So that is why we are eternal. The times change, the environment change, and we keep learning and evolving. So over the period of last 2 days, some lessons, what we should do better, how we can evolve, and some of those feedbacks I have tried to capture. It may not be all, and you are welcome to send more, but so this is what a feedback loop. You suggest things, how we can make it better, and we try to improve it with your suggestions. Some of the items I'm going to share. Actually, the screen, can you do the next slide and come to the feedback on HMEC? Yes. Yeah, go to the next one, please. Yeah. So the one suggestion was about the digital contents, the contents that were shared. I know a lot of people were taking pictures, and sometimes it's distracting too. So we have all the slides that were shared, all the presentations that were made. They will all be made available on HMEC website. So, you know, just for even the past events, every year we are trying to make it all digitally available, so you can download it. Any website that was shared, any information that was shared, you can benefit from that and share it in your community and in your temple. So that for this event, it is going to be up in next few weeks. So look out for that. For chaplaincy, there's a lot of interest. A lot of people asked, how can we become part of it, serve the community? So I don't have more details. And we will share their information on the website. Many of you saw their presentation. So please get in touch with them. And as we get more information, how other communities, other colleges, they can implement this chaplaincy program. And, you know, as and when we have more information, we'll share it. But these are the two contacts you should approach.
there was suggestion about priest and devotee conduct. So kind of a question and answer, FAQ, what should we do in this situation? So all those things, I think Lakshmi Vimadipati ji is working on it. We will share it again through digital media. The content will be made available. Please go to the next slide. These are also other suggestions. So one suggestion was that we meet every year in HMEC. It's an annual event. But between this event and next year, there will be a lot of updates. And how do we communicate, keep in touch with each other? So there was a suggestion for periodic newsletter kind of thing. So to start with, we are going to have a quarterly update. So anything that happens between now and the next 3 months, that's what we will share. And we have all the contact details through which you have registered so that your temples can benefit. And we are not just meeting once a year. It is going to be likely in a news. In between those 3 months, if there are like a flash update or call to action, so we will send those. We will not bother you with too many emails, but if there is an action that needs to be taken and it's important, we will reach out to you. Even for feedback and temple news, it's not going to be annual. You can send your suggestions anytime, but temple news like this temple, any other temple, there is a big celebration, there is a new proposed expansion, any idea, so that the entire community can get inspired, learn from you. So we are going to share a Google Sheet where you can send your update, and that will also be part of the newsletter that every 3 months we are going to send. So it is basically, we are trying to establish two-way communication. We share with you what we know, and you share with us what you know, so that we are in touch with the larger community throughout the year. Sadhvi ji, she very passionately spoke about the stopping the milk abhisekam yesterday. And there are a lot of good reasons, but we haven't had a wider discussion in this forum. So, but I mean, personally, I like the idea, and we are going to, get more information, disseminate it through our channels as VHPA, as HMEC. I am editor of Hindu Viswa. It's also a digital publication with a lot of reach. Its content is daily updated. So we are going to support that campaign. But as a larger community, you can all decide whether you agree with that call and want to take this idea forward. Some of you, if you did not hear Sadhvi ji yesterday, her idea was that this milk industry, particularly in the US, it is in the hands of beef industry. All these Gau Mata, after they stop giving milk, they go to butcher and get cut. So we are basically supporting an industry by doing milk abhisekam, the cattle industry. So her insistence was that we stop doing it and do it through water abhisekam, jala abhisekam, through tulsi, chandan, or anything rose infused water. So that is one campaign that we are going to disseminate information so the community is aware and they can make their own decision if that agrees with their own values. Okay. We talked about children's schools related to dharma and samskar. There are a lot of I would say green shoots emerging everywhere. A lot of people are thinking about it. As VHPA, we have also experience with Bal Vihar in different cities. There are large programs going on. The idea came through some of you that we need to have knowledge sharing Also, we need to have credentialing. So if there is a school that has come up, the community needs to know, how then puts a stamp, or or HUA, they accredit it. That will give it legitimacy. The community will also be served because they know they are
relationship. So once we are locally strong, Satish Sharma ji is not here. Very nice term he tossed yesterday. I'm going to take that for long time. We are in global Kurukshetra. And he was very right. So we have local Kurukshetra, which are connecting to the global Kurukshetra. So unless we do these programs properly local level, we'll not be able to be successful at the global level. So that's the reason regional HMEC. Please talk to us. Upendra Shellerji is here, who has been coordinating for last 2 years in Pittsburgh. He has some experience. We can help you what we did in Pittsburgh. But please take these agenda items, take this thought process, go to your local area. Every city has at least 8 or 10 temples. Just once in a year, maybe twice a year, 4 hours you meet and build relationship. And then we'll strengthen HMEC also. And of course, global Kurukshetra we can strengthen, right? So I'll stop here. Everybody knows Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank, HSBC, is one of the top banks in America. Not America, the world, sorry, the worldwide. And their motto, when 2002, they started the promotion, they used the word world's local bank. And their mission says that local bank serving international needs. Look at that, very nice advertising and very successful bank. So local bank serving international needs. That is regional HMAC. So local temples, we should come together. We are going to serve the international Sanatan Dharma Seva. We will do that. So please do that. Just don't think HMAC is once in a year. That way we'll have two, locally and the national. So please go back, talk to us. If you need help, we'll come. And somebody suggested yesterday, very nice, some of the presidents, like Satish Sharma ji, we can call him on Zoom during local HMEC for 15-20 minutes. He can come. So we have relationship built all over the world. And we can utilize that. So that's what Homa is. The title is Homa because Hindu organization, Mandir Assembly, goes with the temple. So do that locally. If you need any help, talk to Upendra ji or me, anyone, or any HMAC person. So this is almost close of it. Now we have just 2 more things to do. So Shaji, please, can you come here? Shaji, Milind ji, we want you here. Just some honor. Sajjan ji and Manoj Pandya ji. So before that, we are lucky to have our state senator for North Carolina, Mr. Yash Chaudhary. एक मिनट. Yeah, please come here. Yeah.
May I request Himanshu Bhai to greet him with the floor, and the VHPA President, Mr. Ajay Shah, please offer him the shawl. Yeah. Please. Yeah. He's a US President for VHPA. Thank you so much, Jay, for coming, and it's a pleasure. And yeah. You say something?
Yes. Manoj, let me thank you, Sajjan, for your leadership at HSNC and the Hindu Empowerment Council for you all to gather here for this very important gathering. I want to say just a few things. One is, I think as many of you know, there has been terrible suffering in the western part of the state because of Hurricane Helene and the damage that it has done. And I don't know if anybody has an update of the damage that may have taken place with the Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Art of Living facility, as well as the temple we have in Mount Soma in the western part of the state. But I am reminded of how amazing our triangle community has been in all the Hindu temples coming together when we deal with a disaster, in the leadership that Manoj and others have provided in providing relief to coastal areas after our hurricane. And just want to thank you for that, because I think that the visibility of the Hindu American community is very important at a time of disaster. And I have the utmost confidence, Sajjan, that that will happen again. The second thing that I wanted to say is the importance of temples for me as a second generation Hindu American raising third generation Hindu Americans. And Sajjan has heard me talk about this, but when I think about the importance of another place in our household, it is really this community hall in the mandir just down here. That so many memories. Auntie Sharma, thank you, which really starts with Dr. and Mrs. Sharma, but the memories and traditions that we create for our children really happen at our temples. And I want to thank you for that leadership that you provide, because I am a great beneficiary of it. My children come to Bal Vihar at this temple. I feel like the greatest contribution that my wife Sejal and I make to our kids is, one, the time they spend with their grandparents, but secondly is passing on their faith. To be able to recite Sanskrit slokas or to fall back on their Hindu faith at time of crisis and stress is really one of the most important things that I think we can do as Hindu Americans. Just a few other things to share, since this is a national group. For during my time in the state Senate, it's been very important to advocate on behalf of Hindu Americans to make sure that we are part of the broader North Carolina landscape, that we think of ourselves not just as a black and white community, but a black, brown, and white community, not just a community made of Christians and Jews and Muslims, but also Hindus and Jains and Sikhs. And so just a few things that we were able to do that I think other communities can model. Much of this has happened already, but when I got in the Senate in 2016, I urged Governor Roy Cooper, who gave me my start in public service, to do a Diwali proclamation, which he has done every year since he has been governor. And the good news is he has done that proclamation signing at all three temples here in the Triangle. Last year, for the first time, he went outside in Winston-Salem to a smaller Hindu community, which really carries a lot of impact. To see the impact that the governor of a state can have in signing a Diwali proclamation and talk about the importance of Diwali in outside of an area where there are not as many Hindu Americans was very important. Secondly, I was talking to Ami about the Hindu Heritage Proclamation that the governor again will do in October. We have started doing that on an annual basis. Of 2 children in public schools is the idea of languages that are taught in our school. And something that occurred to me is that in foreign languages that are taught in our school, we have Chinese, but we don't have Hindi. And I know this could be controversial in advocating for in other communities. We have seen Hindi language being offered in public high schools. I think there's a real opportunity for us to try to push for the opportunity to see Hindi funded in our high schools. And so last year, when Prime Minister Modi met with President Biden, I sent a letter on behalf of about 50 state and local elected officials, because this is really a state and local issue. It's not a federal issue, urging both administrations to work together to try to create a Hindi fund that can bring Hindi teachers here to the U.S. to teach Hindi. And it is as much of an economic issue for us as anything else, as we 50 years. So I share that with you as well. Two other things I will share with you. I know temple security is something that has been discussed here today, and I know there's a Homeland Security grant that I hope that you all will apply for. And I think if there's anything that we as state and federal officials can do, but I know that I have been this primary sponsor of the Hate Crimes Prevention Act in the state of North Carolina, which mandates the collection of hate crimes that take place in communities. This is not mandated. Local law enforcement officials are not required to collect this information, but that becomes very important given the tragic news that we've seen of what has happened in the Baptist temples, both in New York and Sacramento recently, that we need to do everything we can to be proactive on the issue of protecting our places of worship. And I say that as someone who spent 8 years in the Attorney General's office. I think that we can also push for state legislatures to create funds to provide that funding at the temples too, which is another thing that we should all consider. Last thing I will mention to you is really the importance of these temples, as I think as someone who is the son of elderly parents, and I know you're also talking about this, is the importance of counseling that you provide to families. I recently kicked off an initiative where we got together with Jewish members of our community to build better dialogue. And one thing I think that struck me is how much the rabbis and the leadership of those temples provide grieving counseling, provide counseling to those communities. And I think that we need to do more of that in our Hindu temples, because I think that's what builds bonds. I think that's what makes us look to our place of worship as the first place that we go. That's something that I know that I would like to do, Manoj. And so as you all consider that, this has nothing to do with legislation or laws, but just something I share with you from a personal perspective. But again, thank you, Manoj, Sajjan, for your leadership. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for your remarks. So very quick closing. So before I get out, there are 2 things I have to do. Yeah, Sajjanji, can you please come here? Milinji and Manoj bhai, please come here. So it is like this is like this kind of recognition is like 2 brothers talking to each other. Thanks for serving my mom. It's like that. So, but फिर भी it's like a format. Yeah. So Milind ji has come all the way from Bharat, and he was here. So he is from Vishindu Parishad, secretary there, and Sajjan ji and Manoj ji, when Tejal Ben came here, and then can we do HMEC? The last, as you heard last year, they accepted. We shipped. And so we want to just honor them. Shajiv is here. We saw the second generation president of Minneapolis Temple. So look at that. What a wonderful combination. Here is a Hindu from Sri Lanka. Here is a Hindu from Bharat. Here is a Hindu from America. Oh, that is Sanatan Dharma, right? So please, can you give the shawl to, yeah. Sajjan ji. That is global Kurukshetra we are in, right? Yeah. वो मिली जी आपका तो मैच हो गया सब ड्रेस से आपकी राइट दिस इज अ मैचिंग शॉल वाह and then Manoj bhai right Manoj bhai dhamal I know okay Ansa come here we are done thank you very much.
Okay, so we just have 3 more. Oh, sorry.
So, sorry, I have one announcement to make. We just talked about the flash news alert that we'll be sending. So, we'll be sending one very soon. You all heard about the Bangladesh tragedy, how Hindus are being attacked daily, mandirs are being ransacked. So we are working with our congressional leaders, HMEC, Vishindu Parishad, and other groups. So we are starting a campaign. A lot of people discount that, WhatsApp activism, but that also works. Trust me, it works. Don't listen to people who say, we only send WhatsApp messages. We are going to send an email, have your temple sign it, send it to us. We are making a strong representation on Capitol Hill so that the voice of Hindus who are suffering in Bangladesh can be heard and we can pass a resolution. So that is my last announcement. Thank you everyone for being patient. Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to call Abhay Ashtana ji. He's going to do closing remarks. And Abhay ji, you just have 7 minutes. After that, we have Pratna. And after Pratna, we will have a photo session here. And I have 2 more announcements. I'll just do quick. This is the book, Vedic Mental Wellness. It's outside. Each temple should get 1 book. Another one we found, gold earring, and it's outside in our HMSC table. If somebody's, please collect from there. So I'll give it to Abhayji. Here you go. Everybody knows him, so I don't need to do his introduction.
Thank you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. So I think many people have already summarized a lot of things. So I'll just take a few minutes to take you back to the journey that we started with in 1998, and this happened in Arshvidya Gurukulam, and it was an amazing event, Dharma Sansad, where Ashok ji was there, Swami Dayanand Saraswati was there. Then there were at least like 40 different dharmacharyas from various sampradayas that were there. And it was in that meeting that we decided that there is a need for Hindu mandirs to come together. And Hindu mandirs coming together this was their decision, right? Is the one very effective way of reaching out to the community. At that time, the community was not that big. Maybe we had close to 1 million Hindus in America. Today, we have maybe 4.5 to 5 million. But that's when the people like Ashok ji and Dayanand Saraswati ji, Swami ji, they envisioned that something like that is needed. And they entrusted Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America with that task. So that's when the journey started. Next slide, please. So this is a very famous quote from Dayanand ji, that we need networking is not debatable. We survive only when we stand together. We need to hold on to each other. I advocate active networking. And many Swamis supported this thing, okay, throughout the years. But see, he used the term networking. That was like insightful of Dayanand ji, as many other things that he said. So he never said unity, because he always said that unity is only at the level of Atma, okay? At this level, like at the physical plane, the Jiva-Atma level, right? We can talk about networking. We can talk about coming together. We can talk about understanding each other, right? But we have so much of diversity by definition in the Srishti that let's not talk about unity, right? Talk about networking. Talk about cooperation, coming together, working together. So that was something that I learned from him. Okay, next slide. So in short, okay, when we started the journey, the whole idea behind HMEC was networking, the legacy, this huge heritage that we have, passing it on to our children, and Shraddha, instilling Shraddha, or in English, the closest term is reverence, okay, in our children. Okay, so they can continue with this tradition of passing on our heritage, okay, from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. As this, the senator that was here, he said, right, that's his worry, right? Next slide, please. So what do we do in HMEC? It's all about learning from each other. It's all about sharing our experience with everybody else, and towards sustaining Sanatan Dharma, sustaining our tradition, sustaining our civilizational heritage. Okay, that's about. Next slide. And I'm not going to go into the details. Next slide. Next slide. So we've been having this journey since we started in 2006, and every year we've done it. I think during COVID years, 1 year we missed it. 1 year we did it on Zoom or something like that. Next slide. We've done several things, right, in this journey, like in terms of conferences, publications, youth activities, networks. Next slide. Events, national committees, projects, and all the seva during COVID, some of it which you heard earlier. Next slide. So just very briefly, what's the impact that HMEC has had over these years? Okay, first of all, greater mutual respect and cooperation and more enduring relationship. And that's what HMEC is about. On the path to creating a stronger ecosystem for the collective benefit, significant increase in awareness on Hindu issues and willingness to engage. And I'm talking about this compared to what the situation was in 1998, in the early 2000s, okay, and where we are today, okay. So visible progress on outreach to the community, especially the outreach that's being done by the mandirs. It's increased tremendously. And I'm not saying HMEC is the only reason for that, but HMEC provided some spark and provided some contributions towards all of this impact that we are seeing today. Increase in youth programs, and we've seen much evidence of that. Increased understanding and cohesion between administration, priests, and the devotees. And we heard about that yesterday. Next chart. So what are the lessons that we learned from HMEC over these years? First of all, and this is something that many of us who were involved in the HMEC learned, and it's a very important lesson for us. Increased respect for temples, administration, and the priests. Prior to HMEC, okay, we did not have that, because in the larger community, everybody's saying, oh, what are these mandirs doing? What are they doing? When we got into HMEC, we actually developed tremendous amount of respect for the temples and what they do, what they stand for, what they have done for us. And the administration, the executives, the officers of the temple, tremendous respect for how the sacrifices they have made and what it has done for our community. And the priests coming from Bharat at a very early age, and they spend their whole life serving this community. You don't get that sense unless you are in HVC, I'm telling you. So it's all about building relationships and trust. HMEC is not about anything else. It's all about building relationships between temples, between us and the temples, between the community and the temples. That's what HMEC is about. It's about working on the ground. It's not about giving PowerPoint presentations. It's about working on the ground to build those relationships. Listening to each other and leading by example with Vinay, Vinamarta, humility. And also one lesson we learned was that if we bring real value, and you've seen examples of that, like ideas that come and then they develop into a big project or something, right, that everybody adopts, right? If we bring real value, then the mandirs will welcome it. I've learned that lesson. Mandir administration and the board, executive board, is in a constant flux. So year after year, every 3 years, the executive board in the mandirs change. So we need to find a solution for how we bring some stability with what we are trying to do in terms of networking with the mandirs to make that more effective. Next slide. So going forward, so I think mandirs, respect for mandirs and ashrams, mandirs have their purpose and boundaries. And we need to respect that, right? There's so much that the mandirs can do because they have a purpose. They have a larger purpose, right? Working with each other and coordinating with each other is a part of it, right? But the mandirs, the Jan Jagran Kendra and the things that they have to do is a much bigger picture. It's a much larger purpose, okay? So we have to respect that. Mandirs can definitely be a center of learning and discourse by complementing, and this mandir especially is a great example of that. It's a great example of that, right? You have this wonderful environment and it has a temple. And that is like an ideal model that will take us back to the mandirs that they used to be in our past. Next one, HMEC governance and structure. So we can talk about that later. But for the learnings to stick with the youth, we must work with the parents. And that, going forward, this is a lesson we have learned, and going forward, I think it's a must. And with that, I'll close. It's so good to see all of you and to meet you and to rejuvenate ourselves, and we'll see you next year. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Abhay Bhai. Abhay Bhai said that see you next year, but where? Big question, correct? So, Dallas, HMEC 2025, HMPC 2025. Dallas has a lot of Hindu mandirs. Global Hindu Heritage Foundation, Prakasa Rauji, he is very eager to support us, welcome us to Dallas. So we will be there, and we are working with some of the key mandirs already to host HMEC 2025, HMPC 2025. Mark your calendar. Most probably it will be 12th, 13th, 14th of September. Again, it's during the Shraddha Paksha. We have to just confirm couple of things, but during the September 12th, 13th, 14th. And why we picked Dallas? Because we want to make it little easy for mandirs from Chicago, mandirs from West Coast, and mandirs from, of course, Northeast and Southeast. Dallas is in the center. So we all are eagerly waiting to be in Dallas again next year, 2025. Dhanyavad. Jai Shri Ram.
ॐ यं वैदिकामन्त्रदृशः पुराणाः इन्द्रं यमं मातरिश्वानमागुः वेदान्तिनो निर्वचनीयमेकम् यं ब्रह्मशब्देन विनिर्दिशन्ति शैवायमीशं शिव इत्यवोचन् यं वैष्णवा विष्णुरिति स्तुवन्ति बुद्धस्तथार्न इति बौद्धजैनाः सत्श्री अकालेति च सिक्खसन्तः शास्तेति केचित् क्वचित् कुमारः स्वामीति मातेति पितेति भक्त्या यं प्रार्थयन्ते जगदीशितारम् स एक एव प्रभुरद्वितीयः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Get the other version, Hindi version. Hello. The previous version was, you can do it.
You know Prarthana?
Venki ji, please put the Prarthana slide back. Yeah.
सर्वमंगलमांगल्यां देवीं सर्वार्थसाधिकां शरण्यां सर्वभूतानां नमामो भूमिमातरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वमङ्गलहेतवे विश्वधर्मैकमूलाय नमोस्तु परमात्मने विश्वधर्मविकासार्थं प्रभो संगठिता वयं शुभामाशिषमस्मभ्यं देहि तत्परिपूर्तये अजेयम् आत्मसामर्थ्यं सुशीलं लोकपूजितं ज्ञानं च देहि विश्वेश ध्येयमार्गप्रकाशकं समुत्कर्षोऽस्तु नो नित्यं निःश्रेयस समन्वितः तत्साधकं स्फुरत्वन्तः सुवीरव्रत उज्ज्वलं विश्वधर्म प्रकाशेन विश्वशान्ति प्रवर्तके हिंदू संगठना कार्ये ध्येयनिष्ठा स्थिरास्तु नः संघ शक्तिर्विजेत्रियं कृत्वा स्वधर्म रक्षणं भवं प्राप्तुं समर्थास्तु तवाशिषा ये पुण्य कार्येऽस्मिन् स्वकल्याण साधके त्याग सेवा व्रतस्यायं कायो मे पततु प्रभु। विश्वधर्म की जय।
हर हर please come on stage. We will take one group picture.
Everybody on the stage. एकदम अनुलोम विलोम कपालभाति की तरह सूर्य नमस्कार की तरह आ जाइए सब। हरि बोल हरि बोल। आइए उपेंद्र जी, घर पे जाके हेल्दी डाइट खाने का, सूर्य नमस्कार करने का, हिंदू धर्म की सेवा करने का, हिंदुत्व का आगे बढ़ाने का। हरि बोल। धर्म है भगत और भगवान। ऊपर ऊपर सब आ जाइए। सनातन धर्म के लिए जो हम सब कार्य कर रहे हैं, आप सबको प्रणाम है। माइक्रोफोन या
आपके स्टॉल पे कौन है?
मैं अभी बात करता हूँ, एक मिनट पहले इधर आ जाओ। हाँ जी।
Venki ji from audio visual room, please come for the pictures. We want you to be part of this picture. HMEC would not have been possible if it was not for you. Please,
भाई साहब
please.
म्यूजिक, अभी म्यूजिक बंद करो भाई साहब।
And
सभी लोग,
if
everybody,
we have somebody
everybody.
outside in the lobby,
please come.
We want Toral ji and Amitabh ji and I think Niyati ji also.
Everybody please come on the
in the lobby.
हरा हरा।
उपेंद्र जी
हरा।
लॉबी में जितने भी लोग हैं उनको लेकर आइए प्लीज।
आइए माता जी, आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ। और लाली को लाओ, लाली को बिना स्टोरर लेके आओ, उठा के हाँ उठा लो। हाँ स्टोरर छोड़ दो।
There will be International Global Dashara Celebration 26th of October. Arun Mundra ji is coordinating that, so if anybody has any question, they can contact him. Arun Mundra ji from Houston, Texas. He will send out more information. Dhanyavad. We have found one iPhone. If somebody is looking for one iPhone, Milin ji, aap aiye.
If nobody takes, I will take that iPhone. I don't mind it. हर हर। संगठन में शक्ति का नाम हर हर गीता, घर घर गीता। वी विल से घर घर गीता। हर हर गीता, हर हर गीता। ओके।
Anybody who considers themselves as a youth can come and sit here.
हाँ सही बात है। हाँ हाँ आप चलो ऊपर। बोल बंसी वाले की, कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की। ओके भाई साहब थोड़ा यहाँ पे गैप, भाई साहब थोड़ा यहाँ पे गैप रखिए, कीप सम स्पेस। ओके जी, बड़े हाँ एक मिनट, वीडियो चालू है, वीडियो बंद करके वापस स्टार्ट कर दो। ये चाय तो नहीं है, चाय चाहिए। चेयर फॉर शर्मा जी लो। हाँ आ जाओ ऊपर चढ़ो गो ऊपर। अरे वो चेयर ब्लॉक करेगी 10 लोगों को यार, थोड़ा सा पीछे लगो। एक हो गया। अच्छा यहाँ
If you want to be in the picture, group photo, कल्याण जी आइए।
एक मिनट यार, पूरे फोटो का आप यार क्या करते हो? लाओ इसको दो,
कल्याण जी आइए।
पीछे लगा दिया ना, माता जी को बिठा दिया ऑलरेडी। जब हम घर पे जाएंगे, उपेंद्र जी तैयार हो? हाँ हाँ, एक मिनट रुको भाई, हरिन भाई जल्दी आओ, जल्दी आओ। मैं 5 बोलता हूं तब तक सब शांत हो जाएंगे। हाँ, ओम श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्त्रनाम तत्तुल्यम श्री राम नाम वरानने। श्री राम राम रामेति। अपन को जीना भी, भाई साहब सुनो, अरे भाई मेरी बात सुन लो यार, किसी ने सुनी नहीं आज तक मेरी बात। हाँ, जीना हिंदुत्व में है, भगवान की कृपा में जीना है, इसलिए अपन करके श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्त्रनाम तत्तुल्यम श्री राम नाम वरानने। 3 बार बोलेंगे, श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्त्रनाम तत्तुल्यम श्री राम नाम वरानने। श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्त्रनाम तत्तुल्यम श्री राम नाम वरानने। बोलो क्या करना है? हाँ, ओके। उपेंद्र जी, कैन यू सी मी? हर हर, राइट हैंड ऊपर, राइट हैंड ऊपर, हर 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 हर। उपेंद्र जी बड़े कैमरे में हर हर महादेव कराओ। जय जय। उपेंद्र जी बड़ा कैमरा। हर 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 हर। संगठन में शक्ति का नाम नारी है। जय जय जय। मातरम मातरम। अब मैं बोलूंगा धर्म की जय करेंगे, जय होनी हम करेंगे। धर्म की जय करेंगे, अधर्म का करेंगे नहीं, हम करेंगे। धर्म की जय करेंगे, अधर्म का नाश करेंगे। बोल देवी माता की, शक्ति माता की, हनुमान जी की, श्यावर रामचंद्र की, और सभी संतों की, सभी पुजारी और पंडित जियों की। पुजारी पंडित जी कनेक्शन है भगवान के बीच में। अच्छा मेरा भी है। ओ क्या? हाँ जी, हाँ हाँ हाँ। सारे के सारे हमारी शुभकामना है कि आप सारे पूर्ण हिंदुत्व में जिए। हाँ हाँ, चलो चलो आगे। और एकदम सारे के सारे योद्धा बन जाए, एकदम महाराणा प्रताप की तरह। हाँ हाँ, एक बात और बढ़ा देता हूँ, हिंदुइज्म की बजाय हिंदुत्व यूज करें, टेम्पल की बजाय मंदिर यूज करें।
Food packets are ready to go.
हाँ,
Please collect your food packet on the way out. As well as there is
आचार्य की
a
जो
mental health wellness manual. Mental health wellness manual. One per mandir. Please collect on the way out.
Okay जी।
One per mandir, one per organization. Collect when you go out. There is at the counter, and the food packets are also ready. Food packets are also ready. Please collect.
Wonderful. And Bhagavad Gita, small Bhagavad Gita is for everybody. If your mandir has a school, we have some extra Gitajis. Please contact me personally. For your kids in the schools, in your mandirs, if you need some copies, please contact me here. For Bhagavad Gita जी। और लास्ट में किसी को स्पेशल फोटो खिंचवानी है तो अभी करो। कितना स्क्वीज तो कर दिया थोड़ा। हाँ जी, लाओ जी। हरि बोल। किसी को छोटी भागवत गीता चाहिए, पॉकेट बुक चाहिए, मेरे से संपर्क करें। 1 या 2 तो बाहर से ले सकते हैं, ज्यादा चाहिए तो मेरे से संपर्क करें, उपेंद्र जी से और संजय मेहता जी से। हाँ। हो जाता है बार-बार। हाँ हाँ, नहीं वो ऊपर से कवर करें। ओके ओके ओके, तो जयकारा तो करो। राइट हैंड ऊपर करके थोड़ा, एक फोटो में थोड़ा दम आना चाहिए। हर 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 हर। पंडित जी बैठ जाओ। जय हो जय हो जय हो। एक HMSC की ओनली HMSC टीम ऑन दिस कॉर्नर प्लीज इफ वी आर अवेलेबल। जय माता दी। ओनली HMSC team right here. Only HMSC team right here, please. 4 people of HMSC kindly come here. HMSC team right here. HMSC team, Mehta साहब ऊपर आइए एक बार. The people who have HMSC organizing team. हाँ, organizing committee of HMSC. भाई साहब थोड़ा हाँ, HMSC organizing committee. HMSC core team right here. हाँ, HMSC core team. भाई साहब HMSC core team. HMSC core team right here. HMSC core team आइए ऊपर ऊपर ऊपर. HMSC organizing committee please come here. आप पीछे हटो, थोड़ा लाइन लगाओ, पीछे हटो. HMSC organizing committee please come here. इसको पीछे इस साइड में करो. HMSC core committee right here. हाँ. ओके. संजय नहीं पूरी में तो हम सब आ गए. कोर कमेटी. हाँ, HMSC कोर कमेटी राइट हियर. जय हो जय हो. उपेंद्र जी ऊपर आ जाओ. ठीक है, प्लीज डू इट फास्ट यार, अदर पीपल आर वेटिंग. हाँ मैं लोगों ना यू हैव टू से जयकार. हाँ मैं करता हूँ. मनोज भाई ये ओके. डू जयकारा. हर हर. राइट हैंड ऊपर. हर 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 हर. इतनी जोर से आवाज आनी चाहिए दुष्टों के दिल खराब हो जाए, हार्ट अटैक हो जाए, दुष्ट राक्षस खत्म हो जाने चाहिए. हर 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 हर. That's it. मस्त है ना, बात करते हुए. Okay, I want HMEC organizing committee lined up really nice here. Mehta साहब वो बाद में थोड़ा इधर. भाई साहब, are you in HMSC committee? Are you HMSC core committee? Please stand there. Do it fast guys, please. मैंने 108 सूर्य नमस्कार किए, भूख लगी है, नाश्ता भी नहीं किया. HMSC core committee. हाँ नहीं मैं ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी में नहीं है. हाँ बट थोड़ा डेस्टिनेशन आप ये करो. मैं अपना फोन का मेरा वाला आप करो. हाँ जी मैं वीडियो इससे बनाता हूँ, है ना, वीडियो फिर शेयर करो.
हिमांशु भाई यहाँ हमारे बाजू में आओ.
ओके 5 4 3 2 1. राइट हैंड उठा के हर 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 हर. हिंदू धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की, गीता मैया की, आपके गुरुजी की, आपके माता पिता की, आपके इष्ट देव की जय हो. आज के फोटोग्राफर्स की हरि बोल हरि बोल. एक बार ऐसा हर हर गीता हर हर गीता. एक बार और करेंगे. इतनी जोर से आवाज मारनी है, बांग्लादेश में जो हिंदू परेशान हो रहे हैं उन तक आवाज पहुंचनी कि उनके भाई यहाँ पे आवाज लगा रहे हैं उनके लिए. हर 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 हर. वहां की बच्चियां, वहां की बहनें, वहां के भाई हमारा इंतजार करते हैं. हम कोशिश करेंगे उनकी हेल्प करने की. एक बार और हर हर जय हो जय हो। बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की। Okay, somebody has lost iPhone. We have here, stand here. If somebody lost iPhone, if nobody, did you lose it? Did your phone lost? Your phone lost or no? किसी का आईफोन खो गया है? हाँ, अगर खो गया है, if you don't pick up that iPhone, I will take home. उनके पास था, ऊपर है. Okay. हे नाथ अब तो ऐसी दया हो, जीवन निरर्थक जाने न पाए. हे नाथ अब तो ऐसी दया हो, जीवन निरर्थक जाने न पाए. हरि शरणम हरि शरणम हरि शरणम जय जय हरि शरणम. 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 हरि शरणम हरि शरणम हरि शरणम जय जय हरि शरणम. जय हो जय हो. नेक्स्ट एचएमसी की मीटिंग कहाँ हो रही है भाई साहब? नेक्स्ट एचएमसी की मीटिंग कहाँ हो रही है? नेक्स्ट एचएमसी की मीटिंग कहाँ होगी? Not announced today yet. Next HMC meeting place is not announced.
Tejal is the only one we know. Tejal or Ajay Bhai or Amisha.
Okay.